probably heard me talk about some of the improvements inside of the newest version of Camera Raw. So the Camera Raw that comes with Photoshop CS6, especially the improvements in the adjustment brush and the graduated filter under the temperature and tint section. Okay, but the thing is, I keep finding more and more ways to use them. So I kind of feel like I just have to share them with you. So here's an example, and this is probably, it's one of the tools that I didn't think I would use it first, and it's one of the tools in Camera Raw that I use the most now. Take the example here. So let's go over to our basic panel, okay? And if we look at, overall white balance is fairly warm. Let's say I want to warm it up a little bit more. All right, I like the overall feel down here. I like to get that warmth. It tends to it enhances the sky up here, but look at what it does, especially if I go too far. See how it tends to muddy up the sky over here. It's not really blue anymore. It's like a bluish yellow, and there was more blue in the sky that morning. Okay, it wasn't quite this yellow, but just overall from a creative standpoint, I like the warmer feeling of the photo. So what I can do is go grab the graduated filter, and I can come up here to the top, go to temperature, and now I can drag a graduated filter with a temperature setting, which is more blue. So I'll just drag it over here to the left, and I'll drag that down. Watch what happens. See, now I can come in here, and I can get the sky to kind of have some of that blue feeling, especially in the parts where it didn't have all the cool, colorful clouds, right? I can get the sky to have some of that blue feeling. Obviously, I don't want to go that far, but if I can just kind of dial it down a little bit here, turn it on and off, you can see that's before, that's after. So now I can get the sky to have that blue feeling, but I can still keep the warmth in the rest of the photo. Now, here's the other problem. I still think that the parts of the photo, like the trees, maybe got a little bit too warm, okay? And lost a little bit of the green feeling that they have. So I can do the same thing, but I don't have to always use the graduated filter to do it. I think it worked better here because I could kind of just did it, and it's just basically a line, and it works pretty well there. There's not too much detail to worry about. However, it's going to be a pain in the neck to try to do that in the tree. So that's when I switched to the adjustment brush. Okay, the adjustment brush and the graduated filter pretty much share the same exact settings, except for the fact that one's a brush and one is just kind of like a gradient that you put over the photo here. So now when I want to do something to a very specific area, that's when I'll go grab the brush. So in this example, we'll go ahead and I'm going to bring this back. I do want to cool it a little bit because I think they're kind of warm, but I'm also going to bring the tint over toward green more. Okay, and now let's just start to paint over the trees. Just like this, and I'll probably even do it on the reflection a little bit. And by the way, here's another little tip for you. Look at my brush. See the inner circle and the outer circle? That's feathering. Okay, it's a soft edge brush, which is why I don't have to be perfect when I'm going along the edge here, because it's feathered. It means it's almost graduated on the end of the brush. And that feathering setting is controlled right down here at the bottom. We have our size setting and we have our feather setting. Generally, whenever I'm using the brush, I typically keep a really high feather setting because it's not a hard edge brush and you're not going to see lines that way. Kind of hide your tracks if you think about it. So we'll come back over here and I'll just paint right along the tree line here and paint right up here. It's one of those things. I think when you're watching it happen, you probably don't even really see it too much. Okay? I can see it a little bit, but that's kind of because I know that I'm doing it. Another little tip for you here is it's hard to see. If you hover over, you can see an overlay. If you come down here all the way to the bottom, you can click on Show Mask. It shows you, and now I can go in here and fill in any holes that I might have missed. Okay, and also, better yet, come over here to Erase Mode, get a smaller size brush here, and come over here to Erase Mode and erase it if it looks like I bled kind of over into any parts of the photo that I really didn't want to. Okay, and that's where that overlay comes in handy. And I'm going to turn it off because when you don't want to see it, it gets annoying. But let's take a look at the before and after here. All right, I'm going to click on Preview, Before, After. All right, Before, After. I'm going to make it a little bit more exaggerated. There we go. All right, one more time. Before, after. See the difference there? Before, very, very warm, okay? doesn't, just kind of takes away some of the green. I still get some of the warmth this way because overall it's a very warm photo with sunrise, but I'm able to get some of that green back into the trees and back into the grass over here. All right, and you can come over here. That's the nice thing about the adjustment brush or the graduated filter, is I can go on and I can continue to do all the adjustments that I usually do to a photo. If I ever want to come back to it, just click on it. It shows you that little pin. Click on that pin to select it, and now I can dial back or change any of the settings that I want to just by changing the sliders that I moved originally. Okay, so as you're going through here, it's one of those things. I never quite realized how many times I want to change just a specific color and part of the photo. If you want to do that and you don't even want to go into Photoshop to do it, the adjustment brush and the graduated filter right inside of Camera Raw, really probably one of the things that I use the most now in order to get this done. All right, hope you guys enjoy. We'll talk to you again soon.